up, all you lovely learners in Learning Land? Tyler from 10thumbspro.com coming at you with another ukulele tutorial like we do every single Wednesday and Saturday. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a lesson. Today we're going to do a full breakdown of the very powerful arpeggios, both a more basic and a more advanced example. Printable tabs for this tutorial by becoming a Patreon. You'll find links here in the notes. Pinned in the first comment, a direct link to this particular lesson. My email is in the description as well if you're interested in some one-on-one private lessons. All right, let's break down the arpeggios. Grab your ukulele, brain, and attention span. Once you have those three things, follow me on in and let's break this lesson down together. Come on in, let's do it. Okay, so let's take a look at a 4-chord progression that we're going to modify. We're going to use a C chord, we're going to use a D chord, an E, a G major, and an E minor. Okay, so with these 4 chords, what we're going to do is we're going to play a 4-measure circle, and we're going to apply a strum pattern to start off with that's going to go down, up, down, up, up, down. We're going to do that over each chord one time. So, excuse me, I'm a little stuffy, sorry about that. So if we play it, we're going to go down, up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4. Oops. Okay, so that would be the chord progression that we're going to use. Now, we're going to modify that with arpeggios. So up to this point, you're probably thinking or had the conception that arpeggios is just finger picking. And this is what an arpeggio is, but this is just scratching the surface of it. An arpeggio is when you take a chord and you separate the notes. So the C chord is a C, E, and a G note. Meaning I can play those notes in any order and imply the chord. And that works as a C chord. So because my rhythm is 1 and 2 and 4, I'm going to do something with the exact same rhythm using these notes. Now, as you explore this concept, the C, E, and G note can be found all over the fretboard. C, 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 E, 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 G, 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 G. And any one of those notes can be used to create some really amazing, super cool ideas. Okay, but we're going to keep it kind of basic for this first example. When you're experimenting with these ideas, there's plenty of places to find the notes of a chord. You can there's 2 ways to do that. You can Google notes in a C, or you can make a C chord and just go, okay, C, E, C, G, and just see the note that you're playing on each string. That's an easy way to do it. So when you make a more complicated shape, for example, later in the tutorial, we'll see a G major 7, which is 0-2-2-2. For me to know the notes of a G major 7, I just go through it string by string. G note, D note, F sharp, B. All right? Now let's say you're probably maybe wondering, well, how did you do that? You can go from the open string and work your way up. G note, C, C sharp, D, E, F, F sharp, A sharp, B. So that's one way to do that. Again, we're trying to follow the rhythm of the arpeggio, so we're going to play 1 and 2 and 4. We're going to play open C string, our C note, open E string, our E note, 3rd fret of the E string, this G is our G note, and then 3rd fret of the A string, our C note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we rest on the 3rd beat, open E string, Then we play the 3rd fret again here on the E string, and we rest on the and after the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we changed this into this. Very, very, very cool, right? It becomes instantly something much more interesting. Now you can play these ideas alone with chord progressions you're already familiar with, but you could also, if you had a friend strumming a chord, play these over top that chord and it will sound amazing as well. All right, on to the D chord. A D chord is a D note, an F sharp note, and an A note. And again, we can find those anywhere on the fretboard. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp. I'm kind of impressed with my fretboard knowledge today. I wasn't testing myself, but it's going pretty well. So we're actually going to use that exact same shape that we were doing earlier, and we're going to play 2, 2, 5, 5, 2, 5. So note the similarities between the D arpeggio and the C arpeggio. So we turn this into D note, F sharp, A note, D note, F sharp, A. So we play those two measures together and we get onto the G chord. The G chord is a G note, B note, and a D note. So we're going to start off just classic finger picking, going through the 3 strings. Then we're going to grab this D note here on the 5th fret of the A string. 1 and 2 and rest on the 3, 3, then back to 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right. Down, up, down. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Well, it should have been and 4. 1 and 2 and 4. All right, our E minor. This is going to be a little more of a stretch. The E minor. Okay, so the only difference between your E minor and your G is moving that D up to an E. So we're going to play a rhythm that goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to grab the 7th fret here on the E string, or on the A string, which is an E note. And 7th fret of the B string, or of the E string, we have another B note. 1 and 2 and 3. Whoa. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Very cool. So we turn this into... Okay, so before we play these really quick, just remember to recap. All I did was I played a chord, identified each note, found them in other places on the fretboard, and then used those notes across the fretboard to create lines. You can play those notes in any order. So as you're doing this at home and you're recreating this activity with other chord progressions, note that once you have the notes, you can play them in any order you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do anything specific. You can play notes. You can repeat notes. You don't need to play all 3. It's totally up to you. Okay, so let's jump in and play this chord progression together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 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 4. And there you have it, folks. That is turning that chord progression into something unique and different. Let's see what that sounds like over strumming it so you can hear them both together for the power of combining these ideas with another ukulele. 1, 2, 3, 4. now we can take this a step further with sevenths. Every single chord has a seventh extension within its key. So a C, we're in the key of G. The G becomes a G major 7. The E minor becomes an E minor 7. The C major becomes a C major 7. And the D becomes a D7. The difference between the C major 7 and the C7 is the flat interval, the 7th and the flat 7th. If you want to learn more about intervals, I'll put a link up here breaking them all down. Intervals are the fundamental building blocks of all theory because they're what you use to create chords and scales. If you understand intervals, you can create any scale and any chord. Okay, so check that out if you want. It will really complement what we're doing with these arpeggios. All right, so let's apply these 7s to a more complicated arpeggio idea. For the C major, we're going to come up here because we have right here a G note, 7th fret, C string, C note, 8th fret of the E string, 7th fret of the A, I have an E note, G, C, E. And to make it a major 7, we've added the B note. So I'm going to play something that goes, and then we'll play the open E string, another E note, and the 3rd fret, a G note. So I get one and 2 and 3 and 4. D7, we've added a C note now. So now we have 4 notes, and I'm going to play a rhythm that goes. Coming from this D7 is where I'm identifying some of these chords. We have a D note here, F sharp, and a C note. So I'm going 7th fret of the G string, to the 6th fret, to the 5th fret of the G string, back to the 6th fret. And then down here, 3, 5. Pretty cool. Very dissonant, meaning a tense sound. But going from that dissonant sound to this G is very rewarding. The G, we're going to start off with a similar rhythm. Oops. We've seen that because it's what we did for our C. In fact, a song that goes C to G, that would sound really cool. So we're going to do the G rhythm, 1 and 2 and, open G string, 5th fret, a D note here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for our E minor, we're going to run through, go all the way through the chord, then back up to the 4th fret here and simply drop down to the 2nd fret and then back to the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's adding our D note because in E minor 7, our 7th interval, the new note is a D. Let's put it together nice and slow now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4. Okay, we're going to do it again. This time, I'm not going to count, but try to keep the count in your head. Okay, so here we go. That's the benefit of playing with the metronome as well. It improves your timing and helps you to prevent you from getting lost. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. That was how it would look like with the more advanced ideas. Again, you can find these notes anywhere across the fretboard to make unique ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10thumbspro.com. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. Here at 10 Thumbs Pro, we appreciate you. Rock and roll. Keep on rocking and rolling. And we'll catch you next Wednesday or next Saturday for our next lesson. Take care.